Alright, looks like I am live. Let's just double check everything is working out here. And it is coming in. Let's just double check everything makes sense. Alright, looks like we're good. So, this is a 3D modeling challenge, basically, where I am going to model just about anything you guys ask me to that is not biological. There are a couple rules that comes with this. It's not biological because, one, I don't want to deal with crazy people that like to model weird things, and then two, I don't want to, well, not I don't want to, I simply can't. I just suck at modeling biological things, but I'm good with mechanical, non-living, swords, weapons, tanks, sci-fi, quite anything you guys ask me. So I'm going to let you guys know real quick that this is exactly what I'm doing. I'm just going to go on my Facebook here real quick and share it. See if I can get to it here. Oh, I changed the little thing around since I've been on it, because I haven't been here in a long time, because I got a new mic, I got a new camera, and hopefully the camera's nice. I know the mic is kind of crappy, but this should be a good camera for me for a while, so I'm just going to share it on my page real quick. Also share it to my Twitter when I get the chance, so just give me a little second. This will give some time for people to come in and start suggesting 3D models anyway, so that'll be good. Let's see, what should I say? I'm making 3D models you ask me to. Alright, hopefully that'll bring some more people in. I don't have a ton following, but maybe that'll bring a person or two in. And I don't have two monitors yet, so I can't be constantly checking the chat, but I will go back and forth, so that will happen. And now I'm going to just hit up my Twitter here, and pardon me, I'm going to post my Twitter real quick. And you guys are just seeing Blender and my mouse move around, but that's what's going on. Going live, modeling, whatever you ask me to. Not biological, though. Hope to see you there. There we go. So now that you guys know, let's start with it. So I will be using, I'm not sponsored or anything, just heads up, I will be using a little app that I love that really helps me with my DMing. I am a DM, and I have a sci-fi game running with a few people. I don't know, what do you call that? A game, a party? My party, I guess. And it's called DM Screen on the app, and it's actually really powerful. What it does is it actually, I know we're going to get to the modeling in a second, sorry, but it basically, it can create any story you want to. You can straight up create a story with this. You can create NPCs, you can create items, you can create weapons. So I'll be doing magical items and see how I get to this here. So nope, not magic. And you can go through, and I'm just going through the little tabs here. Legendary weapons, okay. So I guess let's just start with it. Let's just start modeling something right now. Weapon is a hand axe. Blade is made of diamond. Shaft is made of ancient oak. That's going to be fun. I don't know if I can do that. Maker was an elf. Nomad. It's famous because it contains a soul. There is a ruby embedded in the blade. Okay, I can do something like that. That's going to be interesting. So let's get to modeling here. I'm using 2.79. I will talk you through how am I using it. So a hand axe. So that tells me we start with, I don't know how I'm going to do the blade. I'm going to start with the handle and go with the cylinder. Oops, not a surface cylinder. Cylinder. Add cylinder. There we go. So I'm actually going to be looking back and forth between a lot of things. I'm going to look up hand axes for reference here. And just let it load for a second. What? Hand axes. Okay. So, okay, I'm going to be modeling it after that one, so I'm going to, oh, Etsy, build your own, what do you know? Anyway, alrighty, so Let's make this a bit smaller, but a bit long. Whoops, not that way. So I'm just pressing S and holding the middle mouse key to lock it here. I actually don't have to hold it. I just have a habit of holding it. You can just click it once and then drag it to which axis you want. I'm going to drag it up, get there, and then I'm going to press Tab, go into this mode, go into editing mode. I'm right-clicking here, pressing E, and scaling it down just slightly. And then we're going to, ooh, this can be interesting. So I'm going to leave that there for a second. I was going to extrude it onto the blade, so I'm just going to see that. I'm just going to model the handle first. So what I'm doing is I just press Control R, and I'm going to scroll up to get multiple rings. This is a form of subdivision. It just doesn't subdivide everything. It's called edge loop cut or something like that. So then I'm going to select this and, nope. Okay, and then I'm holding Shift Control, or is it just Control? Yeah, it's just Control. You can just hold Control to go all the way around. And what I was doing earlier was I was holding Shift Control Alt, which generally selects the entire loop, but for some reason it's doing vertical and it's never really worked for me. It drives some of my friends nuts, but you know, that's just what you're gonna have to do. So actually, I'm gonna scale this down a bit, and then go around here. I'm gonna scale this one down a bit too, just a bit further than that one. And then go around here, because I noticed there's a little indent. I'm assuming for weight reasons and balancing reasons. I don't actually know. Right there already. But the thing about these is I'm going to select this one, select this one, select this one. Alrighty. Oops. Then select these. I'm going to go 1. Okay, that's going to be the front. I'm going to move this over here till it's just about vertical. That way we can kind of have that indent, but I did see also that it was on the right. Oh gosh darn it. Hate that little bug. Well, I feel like it's a bug, but it's probably not. That way we can keep it straight right here. And don't worry, once I subdivide this, it will look so much better than it is right now. That's something you always have to tell yourself as an animator, is make sure it looks it'll look amazing when you do that. So what I'm going to do is I can't do it with circles, I forgot. But usually you can select one and select another one and press scale Z for Z, X, or Y for, of course, the direction you're scaling it on, and press 0 and it'll level it out on that Z-axis, which is what I don't want, but it's generally what you can do. So we got the hand axe. I'm just going to take a look at another reference. Alrighty, so it looks like, ooh, how am I going to do this? I wonder if I can, I've never done this before, but I wonder if I can sculpt it just kind of in. Alrighty, so I want to subtract kind of along there, kind of keep sculpting, pulling along. I need strength to be 1 to 1. Just pull it. It looks like it is mirrored, so I don't want that mirrored. I want it on the Y plane, right? I'm just going to kind of pull it in, and oh, looks like I'm actually indenting there. Okay, so I'm not too good with sculpting. I just could see if I could do something regularly, a little irregularly, but I can't. So what we're going to do is something a little different. So I'm going to select this, and I'm going to select all of these loops. I don't know the best way to select them. I'm sure there's a better way than this, but I suck at it. So I'm just going to all of these, and the loop select tool doesn't seem to want to work. You're gonna have to let me know otherwise if that's how that's going. So just a heads up that I can't really, because I can't figure it out. My friend mentioned it and it drove him nuts actually, that he that I selected like this, and he says it's so cringeworthy, but you know, it's just how I quote unquote grew up, I guess. I almost said to hand axes, and not what I meant. I was going to say I kind of grew up to hand axes, but not really. So we're going to take these, we're actually going to scale these down slightly, take them to the left, because this, oops, I actually need one more. I'm just pressing Control Z, by the way, to undo that, in case anyone knew. I don't have my screencast keys on, sorry. They kind of annoy me. I might find a way to, I actually don't know how to use them, if I'm being straight up honest, otherwise I would. So kind of flared at the hilt there, and yeah, so I'm just going to press Z, to get into this wireframe mode. I'm going to press B and hold Shift, and that will deselect anything. So I just want to kind of scale these down and move them that way. And then this makes a nice curve. Whoops, that is not what I meant. This makes a nice, whoop, that is not what I meant either. B, Shift, not Control. There we go, and then scale and push. Okay, maybe not that small. I'm just going to scale it up a little, move it up a little, push it this way a little. There we go. That looks pretty good. What I'm looking for the handle there. Keep in mind this will be subdivided, which is very easy to do. It is, whoops, I don't mean to subdivide it that way. It is just a modifier. I'm going to get out of edit mode, and it's going over here to subdivision surface. And what that's going to do is smooth out everything. And that's kind of what I wanted. Not exactly, but kind of. That's getting where I like it. Let's see. I'm going to take a look at my reference again. Get used to that. I will be taking a lot of looks at the references. Okay, so this is much sharper. So what we're going to do is this right here is much sharper. I'm actually going to select these whole entire faces here and tighten them like that. And then I might actually scale them up just a little. And that looks better. I might even bring them up a little just to give that nicer, smoother curve right here. Actually, the whole thing is a little more flat. Okay, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create faces here, and I'm going to scale them down a bit. No. So I'm going to bring, let's see. Oh, by the way, to go to that, I'm just pressing like 7, 1, and 3 on my numpad, and when I go around like this, up and down, that's the 4, 8, 6, and 2 on my numpad. Just heads up. And, ooh, I don't want to settle, but I kind of do. That looks okay, I guess. I don't know. Let's get out of edit mode, and that looks about right, and actually looks a little too sharp, actually, from what I was going for. Okay, so I guess I will just take this guy back a bit, and how I'm going to do that is I'm going to enable this little button down here. It's the little circle with it. It's called proportional editing, and I'm just going to go down and click enable, and then I can hold and click, and it'll edit the whole thing like that, and it kind of drags everything else along with it. And actually, that is looking a lot better from what I was looking for. And if you ever want that circle around to expand and contract, just scroll while you're holding, and it'll get bigger and smaller, and that affects what you change by changing this one face, if that makes sense, which I really hope it does. So now for the axe part. So this axe actually, this axe actually has a 45-degree angle. I don't think I like that too much, so I'm going to scale this guy. Whoops, still have proportional editing on. Don't forget to turn that off, guys. Scale it down, and then I'm going to actually go into vertices mode, and this is where things get a bit tricky, because I have to, by going into vertices, you guys probably saw, but I just went down and clicked these 3 buttons, and this is kind of a tutorial as well as just modeling things, which I hope is okay, because I figured, let's put a twist on a tutorial. So I'm just going to click Alt-N, otherwise Alt-M, like mom, otherwise it's known as merge, which you can always find by pressing space and searching it. So I'm going to do at last, which is the last one you selected, at last, and then I'm going to expand this out a little. I'm actually going to go like this, and then I'm going to expand. Alrighty. Then I don't know how that's gonna look there. expand, shrink a little, expand, shrink a little. Just E and S is what I'm using. Just expand and contract. Not contract. Alrighty, this is where it gets really tricky. So I'm going to press E, and then for that one, and I'm going back and forth constantly for my reference. I'm going to expand this just a tad on this line, and then I guess I can just model it. So I'm going to just make the base square of it, of what it is, and don't worry about these curves right here because we'll take care of that later with edge sharpness, I think. What is that called? Shift E, and you can just basically go like that. So don't worry about that for now. And ooh, is it sharp on both ends? That one is. So the question is, do we want to make a utility axe, or I guess it'd be a war axe because it's technically a war hand axe, if you will. So I'm just gonna go with the normal one and put some weight back here. Again, I'm going to faces, scrolling really in so I can get to these two small faces. I'm gonna expand them just a little. Give a nice big square welcome here. Okay, and then I'm going to go to edges and select these as well. I should have selected two faces. That's okay. Cool thing about Blender is usually when you make a mistake, there's two ways. There's an efficient way and non-efficient way to do things. And that's how it is. And the difference between pros and me is they know the efficient way and I do not. So here we are. Alrighty, so now to make this curved. Alright, so I'm going to give reference to that hand axe. So it's kind of curved down. It's not like a big wide thing, kind of like this. It's kind of curved in, it's kind of cut off at the top and curved from this angle. And that's what I plan on making. So first, we need to extrude these guys. And probably about right there, I would say. And then I'm going to do that. I'm also just press B. I'm also just going to square off all of this. Just make it a little easier for me. So, got that axe going. And now I'm going to take these guys and put it up here. Whoops, did I miss something? Did I miss one? No, looks like I got them. But maybe I need these as well. I'm just going to scale up and then get this up a little so it's not so weird looking. And bring these guys down and probably and definitely in a bit. So that's going to be the axe right there. Let's see if I can, okay, so I can still loop cut it. So this will be working with a lot of edges, but first, before I do that, I'm actually going to create a loop cut vertically. I'm just going to click so it actually starts, and that allows you to drag it like this. So I want the blade to be rather thick, and oh, actually it's rather thin. So this loop cut that I'm doing right now controls where it starts to bevel, I guess, into the blade. So I'm going to press Control Z because I clicked it because I had to click out. I'm just going to click again, and when I see Warblades, they usually have a lot to work with. So I'm going to go like that and give a lot bevel there. And then I'm just going to merge these. And it'll remember the last time you did it. And I remembered that I selected at last. And so I'm just going to do this way. And I can just press Alt-M, Enter. And I do that a lot. And it is very obnoxious. So here we go, I guess. Alrighty, that is now our sharp edge that we are looking for. Also, I need this, so we need to select these, and we also need to edge crease these. Edge crease, that's what it's called. And Shift E, and then I'm just dragging out. It's just like you're scaling something, and that creates the perfect edge crease and the actual perfect blade because they work in constants in this one. I'm going to actually edge crease these. I'll come back to this, but right now it's kind of annoying me. Then also I'm going to take this and scale it out. I'm going to enable that and press 3, kind of get to that direct side, scale it out a bit, because generally an axe is a bit more thicker than it is thin, which is good because you want some weight behind it, and this is where the weight is taking us. So let us actually, I'm going to take all of these. Let's see if that'll work with me. Shift, Control, Alt maybe? Shift, Control, Control, Alt, Control? Maybe it's just Control. I can't remember how to select edge loops for the life of me. So we're just going to do the fun way, I guess, and go all the way around. And I know it's kind of hard to see in this mode. You just have to have a really good what's in front, what's in back, I guess, is the best way to talk about that. And I'm going to scale this. Woo, don't want that. I forgot to disable editing again. I'm actually going to scale this out a little and make it a little softer on that bevel there. And now I'm just going to select all of these edges, and again I'm in edge select mode, and kind of scale it out and make it a little less harsh there, so it kind of looks like it's coming out of the handle. Okay, actually I'm going to scale that down just a little bit. There we go. Alrighty, now to make the curved blade. So that requires a lot of loop cuts, but thank goodness we only have one to work with. So I'm going to bring you back. I'm going to bring, oh, that's already looking good. I'm going to bring, that kind of comes back. How's that looking? Okay, let's bring you forward, you forward, and back. Oh, okay. So I just need to curve it about 45 degrees. Bring you back-ish. Bring you back. And you are too forward. Want a nice, good blade. I'm getting for reference. Alrighty. I'm actually going to bring you forward a little. And this will look much better when it's in metal. But right now that is what we have. So, whoops. So I'm just pressing Shift Z to preview it there. So this is a hand axe. It also did say it had a jewel embedded in the thing. So let's do the jewel right now. Jewels are super easy and super nice, actually. It's rather simple. What you do is you just take that, and I'm pressing 1 to make sure I'm on a flat. And then I'm actually going to size it down a little bit, but size it out just a little more. Actually, how big do we want this jewel? Ooh, do I want it that big, say? It did say it was one of its prominent features. So I just extruded because I don't want it quite that big. So come on, get to the blue. Right now I'm holding the middle mouse click, and I just kind of extruded that. So now I finally got to that one. All right, here's where it comes in. So it's crooked. We don't want crooked. So here's what we do. We're going to select all those. I'm going to press S, and I'm going to press Z and click 0. Same with this, guys. SX 0. SX 0. SZ 0. Now we have a literal perfect square. SZ 0. SX 0. SZ 0. And how it works depends on on your selection method right down here, which is like select active, median point, and it'll scale and work according to that, how you would like it to. So looks like this one needs to go up a little, which also means, because I don't like those folds right there, I think that messes up with the materials and stuff. Whether it does or doesn't, I always like to play it safe. So I'm going to select all of that and just move it up just a tad. So Now we're going to scale it down until it looks like that-ish. And then, ooh, do we want a square? Okay, so we're going to extrude out and then in. And I'm just going to scale it. So now we also have a predicament. We want it to be flat. So I'm just going to deselect this, scale Z, X, nope, Y, 0. And then I'm going to do the same thing for this. One second, select all of these little dots here. Whoops, accidentally selected that. That's the problem we get. Make sure that's all selected. Scale Y, 0. There we go. Now we have our gem, which you can't see yet because all of these faces are not edge creased yet, which edge creasing basically makes sharp edges when you add subdivision like this. It's really nice, and it's how you get those really, really high poly and, well, high poly looking, should I say, things with also sharp edges like that. So, looking pretty good. But there's one problem. This is going to be a gem. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create faces just by shift right clicking these two and pressing F, which is a miracle. And F. And get these three this time. F, F, F. Alrighty. This can also be done between two faces using the bridge key, or the bridge, not modifier, I guess function would be a good word for that. So, because these are going to be 2 joules, I'm going to make these metallic-esque. There we go. So, just so we don't have those awkward curves in there, again, Shift E to get rid of that subdivision to sharpen it up. Or dividing the subdivision surface, I guess. Just in case, you never know. Okay, so now for one of the funnest parts, one of my favorite parts, which is texturing. So first we want to do a new texture for everything, and that automatically does it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this texture the metallic texture. So I'm going to actually use a glossy, surface texture here. I'm going to turn the roughness, which is how reflective it is. This is a mirror. This is a slightly shiny surface. And this is about where I want to be. Let's see what that looks like. It's looking pretty good. I want it a little more reflective though. There we go, already. And then I'm going to make the blade very white. I'm going to make the same thing, except I'm going to bring my whiteness up and make the color. I'm going to make this, again, glossy, but not as much. See what we get here. Oh, whoops, got to sign what I did. And that actually, I might have to pair with, okay, actually this one needs to be darker, so I'm actually going to darken it. Yeah, that looks so much better. And this guy, I want to be a little more glossy. I gotta see my light, how that works. So, also, this is an X, and I'm not going to spend the time. You could spend the time putting a texture on here to make the axe look like it was manually sharpened and stuff like that. You know, you get all these little lines right here. I'm not going to take the time doing that. I'm definitely going to have fun with this, though. So I'm going to go over here, here. This is simple. You just make a red glass, really. And I am going to put some emission because, you know, D&D, magic, why not? And, yeah, that's kind of the plan that I'm shooting for right now. So I'm going to make another one. I'm going to assign it to this time. Make a mix node, mix shader. Actually, no. I'm going to make a glass shader, and then I'm going to show you guys how to use some fun nodes. So we got a glass, needing that to be red. Let's assign that. Shift Z. Boom, we got an awesome gem in there. I might put some blue gems around it, but it's got a nice big old red gem in the blade, right? So, I'm going to go up here, go to compositing. You'll see that's one of those awesome personality things or personal things that you can adjust. When you adjust these things, you can like set up your own presets. These are just the default presets. I like to keep default presets because for new people, they usually keep default things and they need to know where it is. But the more you get it, when you're not becoming a tutorialist like I am, you can definitely, oh, what's the word? I lost my thought there. Oh, you can definitely finagle how you want, the different windows and such. So, whole new thing. I'm not going to teach everything right now, naturally. I'm never going to teach everything right now, just what I'm going to use. So, right now we're selected this object. We're in edit mode. As you can see, we got a rendered mode right here. And then, boom. So these are nodes. So I got my glass node right here. And that's just for the surface. But I want to mess with the volume. I want to make this thing glow. So I'm going to add an emission node. And white is just fine. And we're going to see how that looks up here. See, now we got a lighter one that's a little more glowy. However, I want this to look a little more rough, so not as much light escapes. Now that, okay, I actually like the see-through. I want a little rough. How's the IOR? The IOR is I actually have no idea. All I know is water and glass is generally 1.3333. So that is our nice see-through gem. However, well, no, that looks pretty good. So now, let's actually make a little magical thing at the end, because again, this is a legendary item, I guess. So I'm going to go back to default. I just turned up the emission a little, and boom, it looks nice now. So let's just choose that and put it right here. Again, this isn't editing at all. This is just making another subdivision. I am going to take this right here and, oops, need to make another loop cut right about there. Actually, let's just, let's make not the whole thing metal. Let's make it brown. So I'm just going to press Z, select everything, deselect, make sure I have everything unselected that I want, and then I'm going to make all of this, probably not that actually, because I want to make it look like it's coming out of the wood. Again, just B and shift select for deselect. So I'm going to make another one, and let's actually do, I guess it'd be diffuse, and then it would be, brown's always kind of hard, brownish. There we go, except that is much too light and reflective as a brown, so I'm going to make that rather rough. There we go, and that's just a placeholder for now. I'll add some more detail into that later with a texture. So, got a nice square back here. I'm actually going to take the square back and actually move it more back, because you gotta know axes have weight to them. There we go, that looks a lot better. Alrighty, now the question is, what kind of magic do I want? Do I want like sparkles, a little glow? I think I'm just gonna make it look a little glowy. So we're gonna add the same material, and which is, I believe, that is 0.354, and I'm memorizing this right here. And there's a way to copy it and disconnect it, but I would rather not, to be straight up honest here. So here we go. Right, and I select these. Since they're so sharp, I'm seeing both of them without my Z target or Z see-through thing. And 0.354. Make this new glossy. 0.354. Enter. And I'm also going to make you like that. There we go. These should be exactly the same, and they are. And the reason why I'm doing that, because I'm going to go back to my compositing, and I'm going to add another emission to kind of give it that background glow, if it does. Let's see if it can. Alright, it's not exactly what I was looking for. So, what we're going to do is we're actually going to make a mix node. Mix shader, should be that. And emission, and sorry, I have a very bad habit. strength, and we're going to go. Oh, silly me. It's probably not even applied yet, is it? Assign. Yeah, okay, okay. So let's just drop that there, kill that, and go like that. Okay. Actually, that's looking pretty cool. I might just leave it like that. Turn up the strength a little. But that's like, yeah, that's actually really chill. Might just leave it like that. And there we go. It's got that nice taper to it. It's still got the nice blade. And yeah, I think I'll just leave it like that. See, accidents happen and things like that happen. And you can just kind of go with it. Discover what looks good. Because honestly, it's what looks good to you. That's really what it looks like. So let's go to default. But I am not done with that. So what I'm going to do, and you'll see why later, I'm going to add a vertex group. And I'm just going to call this sparkles. Because why not? So that vertex group will come in handy later. But for now, I am going to go into the texture mod, and this will be back here. I'm going to be sure to select the brown one, and we'll go to default compositing. So this one took me a bit long to get together, but if I'm right, I can actually add textures. Gradient, nope. Image, no, which we could use later. Right now, I'm just going to use, it's not Veroni. There used to be a wood texture. Was it Musgrave? Check out that. Nope. Color. Give me a second. I am learning how to do this. There we go. Alrighty, I think I got it. Maybe it's a factor to that. Yes, here we go. So now that's giving it kind of a more wooded look, but not exactly what I wanted. So let's actually take the scale down. There we go. That looks more kind of wood-like. However, I might want to brighten up the whites and darken the darks a little, maybe. That's looking actually kind of like wood, so I think I'll leave it there. And that was incredibly easy. So what I did is I just took the texture, sorry for the nagling, I took the factor, put it into the normal. I don't know why that happens or how that happens math-wise, I just know that's what you do to apply textures to your average things. So that's roughly our legendary axe, and I just realized that handle is much too big. So what we're going to do, oops, let's get out of this mode first. And I'm going to, you guys probably realize this too, select this and just scale it up, and then bring it up and put it this way, scale it up, yeah. Okay, I will figure this out, scale it down. So the head and the handle is okay. Well, the handle's not okay, but the head is not okay, sorry. Concentrating, figuring out how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to select that and make it much bigger, much taller, bring it up, bring it over. That is looking much better, although, let's bring it down a bit. Ooh, also, we need to round this point. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select you. That's the right one, right? So hard to see. Yes, okay. And then I'm going to Control B it, which bevels it, and then go like that. There we go. That looks so much better. Alrighty, and there are some wacky finagling to do, and you can just do that editing-wise, but that's not looking too bad. Except, I want to take this up. This is a bit too chunky and square, so I'm going to take all of these faces and come all the way over here. And nope, okay. Okay, here's where the troubles come in. This is where I am learning. So I'm going to take this up to there-ish. Actually, I'm going to see what happens if I merge that. and merge that one. And take this up. Okay, so that looks like it fixed it. Now I just have to do the same thing. So, merge that, merge that, and take this one up. Oh, maybe it's this one. Then take that one up. There we go. So, that cured that problem. Still a point like right there that I do not like. So let's see what's going on here. Why is there points right there? At last. And merging is one of my best friends. Always has been and always will be. There we go. That looks so much worse, question mark. What happened there? So, tell you what, sometimes it's better just to start over a little. And I'm going to just kill these faces. Every single last one of them. Faces and faces. All right. Okay, yes. Making sure I get everything I need and not get the things I don't need. Delete a little too much there. So that looks like everything I want. Ish. You are not right. Looking like a nice hearty curve here. You not supposed to be there either. So, question is, why is there 2 here? That shouldn't be there. So we're going to do Alt-M at last. See, this is some mistakes that happen when you bevel and subdivide. Bevel is not a amazing tool all the time. So for some reason I only beveled half of this, which brings me to even more trouble. So I'm going to select these. Again, it's just fixing your mistakes. Make sure everything is A-OK in the end. And I'm going to select edges and delete edges. There we go. And then delete edges. There we go. So now I need to make that a face. I'm just manually working on weird things. Getting that guy in. Okay, I need to kill this edge. So I'm going to press E, drag directly that way, and to make another floating vertice for me to make that face. And then we can easily, that isn't supposed to be there, so I'm just going to kill that. That's the cool thing about two-sided things is, oh, what? Is that a face? Okay, so I'm going to delete this face for reason of looking good on both sides. Just make that a face. That way, we now have that. So I will take this and move it this way and there. Have our nice curve. Oops, let's take this and move it that way. Looks a bit better now, right? All right. Now for the hard part. Now, take this, whoops, not that. This and this, make it that. This and this, make it that. And make a face. Here. Then, just a little merging. So, what we're going to do is that, and we're going to Alt-M, stuck on last because it remembers, merge over here, and boom, perfectly curved X. Except that's what's wrong with it. Okay. Except these faces, oops, these faces need to go up a lot. Oh, did it do that edge face thing again? There's nothing merged, yeah. But I can kind of fix that if I can select these guys as well. So this is just a flaw in building it, because this needs to be a lot smaller. That needs to be like way up here. So instead of doing that manually, I'm just going to delete all of those faces. Maybe not the top ones. And make faces out of those. Let's go back into vertice mode. Just Alt-M these because it makes life so much easier. Alrighty, so now we make this, whoops, didn't mean to go into edge mode, and that's weird force of habit. Like that, all the way over here, and there. Boom, face, okay. Now, I'm going to go up and go around, and make these faces. Solving our problems. Well, one of our many problems with this funky axe. There we go. I need another reference picture. Actually, you know what? Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's make this a blade. So, going to be really obnoxious, but Alt-M Enter. I'm got practice of doing absolutely this all day long. I'm actually going to merge its center, see if I can save myself some time. Alrighty, so this one was very easy. It was simply at a 45-degree angle. I need to go back, and that guy needs to go back. Boom. But we're not quite done yet, because we still have to do that, which will allow us to do, whoops, this. Boom, now we got a little two-bladed axe. I'm going to check my reference once again. Alrighty, so there isn't a little hitch here, so that's just simple enough as to drag this whole thing till it meets and then delete what we don't want faces and merge what we don't want either. So we're going to take this and that and pull it way back here. Alright, so I know there's a lot of messy and finagling and stuff, but this is just because I'm stupid. It generally doesn't happen. Generally. Nope, not that, that, and that is what I want. There we go, and then that and that. There we go. So now, the way I've set it up is we just got this blade right here. I'm going to delete that, and delete that, and delete that, and whatever that is, how that got there, and delete that. So, this is actually a really easy fix from here on out. Simple as taking that, building faces like that. That way, the flow of the object is not messed up. However, why is that there? How did that? Hope that doesn't. All right, so going to merge that one with that one. I don't know why that one's different from the other side, but it is. Stuff like this happens, which is okay. That is definitely a-okay. I didn't delete this one, which I need to. And then make a face out of that. And make a face out of that. Also, you can turn the subdivision off and on because, remember, it is not applied yet. I'm just used to this, and I've seen these edges before, and so I kind of know where the vertices are. It's not too hard to check out. However, that doesn't make any sense, so I'm going to just Alt-M. Last. Some reason these guys got applied to that, but that's not too hard to stop. Boom. Now we got our secondary blade. But these guys, which I don't want, are weird and sticking out according to my reference. So I'm gonna delete you, bring you back to you. Also, I totally forgot to say, but I do own 2 dogs, so if they, for some crazy reason, decide to, ooh, this is tough, because now I gotta do a 3D thing, gosh darn it. Start barking, just know that's normal and that's them, and that's okay. They bark at anything and everything, and the sprinklers just kicked on, so that's why I'm doing it. That's what I'm looking for. So, yeah, just checking my reference again. Make sure we get all these vertices here. And this one, and that one. Whoa, that's not right. Right, that isn't right because it's exactly what I wanted. Alrighty. Still a little hitch about it, but that's okay. Little weird, but that looks about the right size for a hand axe now. So that's a little spacey. So I'm actually going to put a hole in that, just because holes are cool and fun. And you know what? Why not? You want hand axes to be light and powerful at the same time. There we go. That looks so much better. Maybe even put in wood. Actually, let's select those. Sign. It actually doesn't look, no. That's too weird. That doesn't make sense for wood. Ooh. But this just might. So that way they're going to be like, wait, how the crap did that wood get there? And it's like legendary, and like this axe handle will never fall off, and it's not going to. Boom. Now that is stuck there, and that is absolutely awesome looking, I believe. Sorry, I got a text from my mom. Okay. That is the hand axe. File, save as. Whoops, not caps lock. Hand axe. I'm going to just put this in. Why not? Why not the D&D resources? Who knows when I'll use it, if I'll use it. Probably not. But yeah, that is the thing. And I guess I just have to get more viewers or something, but none of you guys really showed up, so that's okay. I just, this is more of an idea for later, but this is just kind of a demo of how it would be. And I'm going to do these more, but I'm actually a little out of time. Didn't want to make a long stream anyway. So I will, I guess, catch you guys later, whenever I happen to be streaming next or whenever next.